quick video on the heels of my Sonic Mini 8K review and from some pictures I've been posting on Facebook. I got a lot of questions on Facebook and YouTube about comparing 2K to 4K to 8K, all on small screens, so it's not comparing any of the big ones, which distorts what the resolution would be on a smaller screen, and also comparing 4K to 8K with the exact same resin, exact same model, exact same orientation, exact same settings. So this is going to be really quick because I did that, and I was able, since as you see behind me I have a lot of stuff and I have way more than this. I tend to save almost everything I print, so I was able to dig up a print I had done of the Dwarven Female that I used for my test from a 2K printer. I found my best 2K print from a year and a half ago, whenever it was. So I have, coming up in a second, 2K versus 4K versus 8K. Those are all the same model, but with different resins to show the best I could get from each medium. And then we'll talk about 4K versus 8K, same resin, same model, exact same everything. And then plus I'll also have in that picture the 8K with the 8K resin, which I think is not marketing hype. It actually gave me better results. So let's not hesitate. Let's jump in and look at those photos, and we'll make it really quick, and you guys can just see for yourselves. So our first photo here, we've got the 2K, which is a lighter resin. I believe that may have been a frozen ABS-like at the time that I was using. I'm not sure the printer I used for this. It was most likely my Epax X1, I'm thinking, but again, I'm not 100% sure. I can't commit to that. But you can see, as between the 2K and 4K, there's a noticeable difference. Things like the small runes on her armband, the definition and clarity around the eyes, the buckles, things like that. Any of the small details. They printed on 2K. I mean, it was great at the time. I was amazed by that print. I still think it's great. But compared to 4K, you can see that the details are really popping on the 4K version as opposed to the 2K version. Now you look from the 4K version to the 8K version. And again, I would say the jump from the 4K to the 8K is not as dramatic, but to me it's still dramatic. I mean, you're seeing a lot of extra detail on just the carvings, but all the tiniest things are just like a lot sharper, a lot clearer. For someone like me who's not a great painter, a lot easier to paint that makes it. So to me, that 8K improvement over 4K is definitely worth it. If you're at 2K, it's like a no-brainer. I think the difference is kind of like night and day between the 2K small printer and an 8K small printer. Again, we're not talking large printer size, because 8K on a much larger screen doesn't give you that much higher resolution. So let's not get it twisted. We're talking about the small screen printers. So I do believe the jump from 2K to 8K, no-brainer. If you have a really well-functioning 4K small screen right now, I don't think you're going to run out and upgrade to the 8K right away. I mean, unless you really want to, of course. If you're like me, that little extra details mean a lot. But otherwise, 4K kind of picks everything up. Just 8K makes it that much sharper, that much clearer. Looking at them in my hands, or if I put on, especially if I put on my painting nerd glasses, which I don't have them down here. I think I was looking at the models upstairs before making the video, you can see a difference. And I can definitely see a difference from 4K to 8K. Even if it doesn't show up as great in the photos, just all those little details are just sharper and clearer. And when you hold the model, even without the benefit of a magnifying glass or high-res photo, just holding the models next to each other, the 8K one just kind of looks, I don't know if the right way to put it, a little more in focus to your eyes. It's like everything's just sharper and clearer, just a little better. Look at the 4K with Epax Hard Gray, and then 8K with Epax Hard Gray. It's a little hard to see in this photo, but I think you can see the 8K, again, it's just a little sharper, a little clearer. It's a little more notable to me through my nerd glasses, my magnifying glasses, than actually came out in the photos. I think a little bit the flash is blowing out. Those details are so fine, the flash is blowing out a little bit, but you have to trust me, I'm not making this up. The 8K one does look better than 4K one in my hands, under my magnifying glass. And then you can see how the 8K resin looks. And again, I don't believe this 8K resin is marketing hype. I believed when Frozen came out with 4K resin, I thought that was BS and it was marketing hype, because when I printed with it, it didn't come out any better than like my Epax Hard Gray. But at this level, this 8K resin that they have is printing better than my Epax Hard Gray, which, as everyone who follows my channel or sees my posts on Facebook knows, Epax Hard Gray has basically been my favorite resin for probably like a year and a half now. Just gave me the best results on every machine I tested on, and a very close second was the Soray Navy Gray, which I also love. But this frozen AK resin, I'm going to stock up on this stuff because I know everyone's going to come out with AK printers. Maybe they'll come out with resins too. This AK resin right now, I am convinced is going to give me the best results on a high resolution printer. Some people still might believe it's marketing hype, but I'm looking at results with my own eyes right in front of me, and to me it prints better. I mean, I was shocked that I got better results from that than my Epax Hard Gray, which I thought was like the ultimate in resin. So maybe Epax will have to go make an AK version of their resin, and then we'll see how that comes out. But for now, this Sonic Mini AK resin is great. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick hit on comparing 2K to 4K to 8K, and then 4K with the same resin to 8K with the same resin, and then also looking at the 8K resin itself compared to 8K with the Epax Hard Gray. So that's it, just kind of like a little follow-up video. If people have more questions about the resins or prints and all that stuff, if you go to Facebook, I have a Facebook group, 3D Resin Printing with 3D Printing Pro. If you join or not, it doesn't matter to me. I don't make money off the group. In fact, I formed the group because I was getting sick of seeing advertisements everywhere in all the other groups I'm in. So in this group, if you come, you can get 3D printing help or just show off your prints and paint, but there's no advertising allowed. So it's ad-free, so you can come to that Facebook group and not have to worry about being spammed with ads all the time. I don't even advertise on my own stuff. So anyway, it's just a good place to come to share 3D printing knowledge for resin printers. It's just for resin. But I always forget to mention that there's this Facebook group out there with no ads. I think a lot of people are turned off from the group by all the ads you get. Here there's no ads. So anyway, that's it. I'll be back soon with some more support tip videos, the Lychee tutorials. I got a couple more resin reviews coming up, including the 8K resin, which I'm about to do my brake tests on. So hope to see you soon, and happy 3D printing.